Doesn't this issue illustrate why we desperately need our own Bill of Rights so that we don't have our legislation forced upon us by the EU with fines if we don't agree?
It's got nothing to do with the EU. It's all about the European Convention on Human Rights, which we signed up to. In fact, we wrote it 60 years ago. Now, we've always been a signatory to it, and the fact that we've incorporated it into English law actually is irrelevant as well. So this issue would have arisen irrespective of recent developments in statute law. It's an issue for the UK to deal with. I believe that if we do have to go down this route, then we should minimise the damage as much as possible.
First of all, it's not the EU that forces our legislation upon us in human rights law, it's the Council of Europe. And the Council of Europe legislation on human rights was written by British lawyers, and we should be proud of that. After the Second World War, the Council of Europe was basically designed by British lawyers. And so our human rights legislation, which is now governing 47 countries, is something we should celebrate. A Bill of Rights, I think, is something slightly different, and I wouldn't be against a Bill of Rights, but I think it should build on and enhance in a very positive way the rights that are already enshrined in domestic law, which a lot is, and in European law, and of course in international law as well, through the United Nations. For example, the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, which provide a very good positive framework for children's rights, but are based in the United Nations. So law is a complicated thing, made at domestic, made at local, at national domestic level, at European level, and at international level through the UN. And we should be taking part, as a nation and as individuals, we should be supporting that legislation and actively trying to get it enforced across the world.